Thanks, Deputy Speaker. And the member for Bowman, despite his relative youth, seemed to be stuck in the hazy West Coast 1970s. I guess an attitude maybe of that it will be all right in the long run. Deputy Speaker, it's a privilege to contribute to this debate, a debate about one of the most important policy agendas of the Albanese government. And this bill, the Future Made in Australia Bill 2024, represents the ambitions of this government to set this country up for growth and progress, to build a future here for our children and their children. Deputy Speaker, it's another example of a government that is firmly focused on today and tomorrow, compared with an opposition with a narrow, straightened focus on a past where I dare say if they were responsible for too many opportunities missed. Deputy Speaker, I know this better than some, as for much of their time in government, I worked representing science and engineering professionals across the public and private sectors and saw firsthand the consequences of their disinterest in manufacturing, research and innovation, their disinterest, in fact, in industry and science policy more broadly. Deputy Speaker, I'd like to recognise the many excellent contributions which have already been made by my colleagues on this side of the House. The number and quality of contributions reflects the commitment we have to pursuing this plan for the benefit of all Australians. Now, Deputy Speaker, we face a series of challenges on the national horizon, but these challenges come with opportunities. And if we're bold enough to grasp them, and Australians have always been bold when facing the future. When their governments join them in this boldness, the capacity of the Australian people to achieve greatness is limitless. But, Deputy Speaker, we have had nearly a decade of inaction and atrophy when those opposite occupied this side of the chamber. They did nothing to address the challenges of climate change, manufacturing and securing supply chains. It was a decade of lost opportunity. Well, we on this side are going to catch up and make up for this wasted decade. This bill forms a key part of that catch-up. So what is before us today, Deputy Speaker, is straightforward. The principle underpinning it is simple. We on this side want Australia to be a country that makes things here. We used to be a country which made things. We made cars here, something that was lost thanks to the willful destructiveness of those opposite. There are three critical reasons why we need to be, once again, a country which makes things. One, Deputy Speaker, is making things here will contribute positively to economic growth. Secondly, making things here will create jobs, good, well-paying jobs. And three, making things here will make us stronger and more secure by reducing our dependence on potentially vulnerable global supply chains. And underpinning all this is using this as an opportunity to take serious and meaningful action on climate change through promoting investment in renewable energy. Deputy Speaker, as the Treasurer has said, this legislation is built on three pillars. First, a national interest framework, which will help us identify sectors where we have a sustained comparative advantage in the new net zero economy, or an economic resilience and security imperative to invest. Second, a robust sector assessment process to help us better understand and break down barriers to private investment in key areas of the economy. And third, a set of community benefit principles that will ensure public investment and the private investment it generates leads to strong returns, but also leads to stronger communities. In short, through this bill and the broader $22.7 billion plan associated with it, our government is going to maximise the economic and industrial benefits of our transition to net zero, while securing our nation's place in a changing international strategic and economic context. Most importantly, this bill was offered in the national interest. To be able to take practical action on climate change, grow our economy and strengthen our nation all in the one piece of legislation is an unmissable opportunity for this parliament. We are motivated on this side by the national interest. I encourage all those in this place who share these sentiments to support this bill. Deputy Speaker, this bill comes within our broader Future Made in Australia budget package. I managed before its total value, but it's worth mentioning it again. $22.7 billion. That is a significant investment in the future of our nation. This package includes the Solar Sunshot, the battery breakthrough initiatives, the natural interest account, production tax incentives for hydrogen and critical minerals, and the Future Made in Australia Innovation Fund. This plan sends an unmistakable message to the world. Australia is part of the solution and very much open for business. We're not passengers. We'll be able to attract and enable investment in these important areas and cement our place as an indispensable part of global supply chains. This bill and the broader plan, while looking to promote our national interest, unashamedly looks to the world and our place in it. Deputy Speaker, the world is changing and we need to make sure that we are keeping up. Make no mistake, renewable energy is here to stay. Global markets have embraced the energy transition. Those who resist will be left well behind. The global economy is changing rapidly and we must make sure Australia changes as well. The Future Made in Australia bill will ensure that we establish an enduring framework to underpin our national response to global economic changes and how we can take advantage of it. Deputy Speaker, this is a plan for Australia's future, a plan that begins right now. These sorts of debates, Deputy Speaker, are always instructive and interesting as to the views and mood of the House on the great questions of the day. I've listened to a few of the contributions from those opposite. In the face of our plan, our vision for a future made in Australia, they have had little to offer. Deputy Speaker, there is no counter plan, there is no alternative vision, there is no constructive criticism. All we have heard is carping and empty words. Well, debates in this place are not about cheap political point scoring. Debates in this place are supposed to be about alternative visions for our country. The government has presented a vision and a plan to take that vision and turn it into a reality. I've yet to hear of a similar vision or plan from those opposite. But, Deputy Speaker, the closest we have come to in this place to hearing something that closely resembles a vision from those opposite is their vision for a future powered by nuclear energy. We over here are talking about critical minerals and batteries and green hydrogen and articulating how we're going to use these opportunities to transform our country. And those opposite are there talking about nuclear power. But, as with their approach over the last decade, it's more distraction and inaction. There is no serious engagement with the significant challenges that nuclear power faces to even be a small part of our energy supply. No sensible conversation over cost, timing, location or workforce capacity. And, Deputy Speaker, that's because fundamentally they're not serious. The nuclear thought bubble is a fig leaf to cover their opposition to meaningful action. Deputy Speaker, we're over here are talking about something real and measurable and achievable. We over here are talking about aligning Australia with the global energy transition, whilst over there they're still talking about moving in the opposite direction, perhaps to an Eagles-powered 1970s. We over here are talking about a plan to create jobs and grow our economy, whilst over there is no plan for jobs or the economy. The contrast, Deputy Speaker, in fact, could not be more stark. But, Deputy Speaker, we are all in the end judged by history, whether we like it or not. This bill and our plan for a future made in Australia is an effort to address and answer the great questions of our times: climate change, the energy transition, sustainable economic growth and the creation of well-paying and lasting jobs for the next generation and the generation that follows them. But in this debate, we've heard nothing from those opposite that would indicate a willingness to offer a similar plan or vision. It's disappointing, but it's not my disappointment that matters, Deputy Speaker. No, history will judge those opposite, that in the face of the great challenges facing us, in the face of the most important questions of our times, again, they had no answer and instead chose to play cheap political games. In conclusion, Deputy Speaker, The Future Made in Australia bill is an important part of our plan to make things here, grow our economy, create jobs, join the global energy transition and make real and practical steps towards tackling climate change. Deputy Speaker, this is a bold plan to set our country up for the future starting today. I couldn't be prouder to be associated with it, and I commend the bill to the House.